Okay guys, welcome back. So you've seen the title and this is the camera we're talking about today. It is the Sony A7 III. Now I bought this camera in December and I've been using it like ever since obviously. And I now have enough experience about this camera of using it that I can kind of give you my pros and cons about the camera. Now first of all I'll tell you why I bought the camera. I bought it because I had a basic camera and I went to upgrade to a camera that was full frame, that was good in low light and shot 120 frames per second. Now for me there's only two cameras on the market. It was the 1DX Mark II or the Sony A7 III. A7 III won for various reasons. First of all, the price, it was like 3 times as cheap, and also the size, it was 3 times as small as well. Okay, and there's a few more other things as well that I'll go into again in this video of things that it has the other cameras don't have. So this for me is basically an all-round like winner. The cons about this camera, there are a few, not many. Now, the biggest one, I think, is the flip screen. Now, coming from Canon, I'm used to the screen that kind of flips out, you can twist it, all different angles. You can use it for vlogging, like this kind of thing where you're kind of seeing yourself when you're filming. All different angles, you can kind of get the perfect like tilt on the screen to help you out. This one's not, this one is basically out, tilt, and that is it. So if you want to vlog, you can't see yourself, you can't frame yourself. If you're trying to record a video like this, you can't see yourself. You've got to like go around, frame yourself, jump back down. You have no idea if you're in focus or not. You've got to just rely on the autofocus. If you're shooting, like I was in London the other day, I was trying to do like urban shots of like the tall buildings, and I was trying to get low to the ground, and I couldn't see the bloody screen. I was like getting real low, tried to tilt up, I couldn't see the screen. I was just like blind firing. And that is a little bit annoying. So the screen is like the biggest downside of this camera. Now you can get external monitors for this, but it's like an extra thing you have to buy. It's just, yeah, it's kind of like a big old monitor. Or you could also use your phone app, but it's just one more thing you've got to do when you're trying to take a picture or record a video. That is the first and probably the biggest negative about this camera. The second one is the lens prices. Sony cameras aren't that expensive considering, but the lenses are very dear. I have gone for the Sigma lenses because they're just a lot cheaper and they're more in my budget. I can get 2 or 3 of these for the price of one Sony lens, so I'd rather do that myself. Now, another con or negative about this camera are these little these are for your strap, and they're like really annoying. Now this, you can take them off. This side has been taken off because I don't use it. This side I've kept on because I have this little strap I put on the camera. It goes on there when I'm like trying to film, when I'm going around town or something like that. I want to keep it on there. First of all, if I drop the camera, it's on my wrist and it's secure. Also, if someone tries to like nick it off me, it's not going to go anywhere because it's going to be attached also to my wrist. So yeah, that's why I use this. When you're using a gimbal or just hand holding it, these do get a little bit annoying. Okay, another negative about this camera is when you buy it, it doesn't come with an external battery charger. So you've got to charge it through the camera. Now that is okay, apart from these flaps kind of get in the way, you can see or not, this flap gets in the way a little bit on the desk, so it feels like you're going to break it. And also another thing is, I've got 2 batteries. Now if I'm charging one battery, I can't use the camera because it's plugged in charging. So unless I buy an external battery charger, you can't use the camera while you're charging it. So that is another negative about the camera. And apart from that, well, there is a little one what's annoying as well is the files, the raw files, they're ARW files. Lightroom currently doesn't read them. So you could like hack the code in a way. There's a little way of get around it to put them into Lightroom, but it's annoying. It's like another thing you could do before you can edit your files, which is annoying as well. Apart from that, everything else in this camera is pretty good. The color science is different to Canon. I kind of prefer the Canon colors. These are a little bit more greeny for me. Once you've got your color grade in place, you can save it as a LUT, then you're good to go anyway. So yeah, these are the cons on this camera. I keep moving this camera around way too much for this video. Let's put it down for a second. Now, they are my negatives on the camera. I'm quickly check my list, see if I've missed any. Oh yeah, I missed one. So when you buy this camera, it's going to have the factory update on it. Now, you should update it as soon as you get it, because when you buy it and you turn it on and off, there's going to be a lag. It takes like 3 to 4 seconds to turn on. So update it and it gets rid of that lag. It's like instant, you're good to go. Now let's go to the pros. Now there are many pros, way more than cons, and that is one of the reasons why I bought this camera and why I love it. First of all, the size of the camera and the compactness and the weight is just perfect. It doesn't weigh anything. It's very small. It's like, it's a mirrorless camera, obviously it's not a DSLR, so it's a lot smaller. Then there's, like, for example, like, just like, look at these. So it's a bit smaller than this camera, but it has loads more built into it than this one. Another thing about this camera, what is amazing, is the speed that it shoots photos. Super fast. I think it was like 76 photos until like the buffer runs out, and it's like, I check 1 second. "10 frames per second. Shoots 10 frames per second. That is fast. Now you can also shoot in silent shooting. Now, that is done by going into the menu. Now the menu is also very complex. That could be a negative in a way, but you can't get used to it. You go into the menu. Now I've got it set as one of my function buttons. So if you go to silent shooting, basically just click down to on, and when you take a photo, nothing. Look, I'm pressing the button now. No sound whatsoever. So if you're doing a wedding or a conference, then you're not going to be the guy in the back making all that noise with his camera, okay? Perfect for that. This is the camera they used at the royal wedding this year, or last year now. And that is the reason why, because it's like not disturbing at all. Another pro about this camera is the 4K footage is like so good. The quality is amazing. Now 4K for me wasn't a huge factor when buying the camera, but the fact that it has it and I can use it when I want to is amazing. It's really good. Now I don't use it that much because my computer's not very new and it's like takes forever to edit, so I don't really use it for that reason. But when I have used it, the quality of the image is like amazing. Second to none. I can't really say that, can I? But it's really good. The reason being is it's actually got a 6K sensor and it kind of just like downgrades it to 4K. So yeah, no loss in quality whatsoever. Now, one of my favorite things about this camera is the eye autofocus. Now the way it works is it kind of zooms in. Instead of focusing on the face, it will focus on the eye and it will track the eye. So your model can be moving around, it'll be tracking the eye perfectly with a little green box around the eye, and the focus is like pinpoint perfect. Like from 20 pictures, maybe like 18 or 19 will be in focus, maybe 1 or 2 won't be. So it's really, really reliable, and you can set it to one of your custom buttons. Now I've got it set to my custom button C3 because I like to like twist the camera around so I can just have my hand here and just press it when I need to. I've got my eye focus on that. Now also you can like kind of blind fire with it because you can trust it so well. So you can like just kind of blind fire, hold the button down, get on the subject, and just like fire ahead, and you're guaranteed to get perfect focus. Dual memory card slots. Now you can either have it to shoot on both, you can have it to shoot on one, and also has the option that if one card is full, it will then swap automatically to the second card. So you're never going to have an issue of missing a shot or running out of space in the card, unless you waste through both of them. Then it's kind of your fault for not checking the cards. And yeah, you can easily swap through one to the other. So say for example you're doing a vlog, okay? Now you can do all the talking parts where it's like in 24 frames per second on one card, and when you're doing your B-roll, you can switch to the other card, so you know you've got basically separate folders for each type of footage you've got in the camera. Oh, this camera is flashing at me saying the battery's about to die. I'm not even finished the video just yet. Oh, let's have a coffee break, put this on charge, and I'll come back to the video. If I told you that I made a coffee, drank it, finished off the video, went to edit it, and realised that the whole sequence after the coffee had no mic turned on, there was no volume whatsoever. Let's do it again. So what I said before, what I'm going to say now, is the next pros about this camera. So the autofocus is very good on this camera as well. It's not as good as Canon's dual pixel in my eyes, but I've also not been using native lenses, so that could be why it's not as quick or as good, because I use Sigma lenses. Now, I'm using a lot of manual focus anyway, so it's not a huge different issue, but when I've used it, it's been really, really good. So yeah, you can kind of pretty much rely on it, that's good. And there's also loads of different settings you can do, different areas, focus points, and so on in the focus settings. Another great feature about this camera is the fact that you can set all these buttons to being custom buttons. So there's like so many, there's 2 here, there's 1 here, you can make, basically I think it's like 11 or 12 buttons you can set as for custom buttons. So you can make it fit around your kind of workflow. Now, with it also, apart from having the custom buttons you can set them for video and for photo. So if I'm in video mode, these buttons can have one function. If I go to photo mode, the same button have a completely different function depending on what I'm using it for. And also you've got the dials, you've got the 1 and 2 on the dial. These can also be set as custom like presets within the camera. So say I'm using 24 frames per second for my vlogs, for example, that can be on 1. And say I want to switch to my B-roll settings, 120 frames per second, I can go into 2 and everything is set, I'm good to go. So it's really quick going from one to the other. Instead of going through the menu, changing it to 120 frames per second, then going to the shutter speed, adjusting that, getting your exposure right and so on. This is literally bam bam, quick and easy, okay? And that is, for me, is like another huge thing. What I've realized with these pro cameras, not only do they give you more options, but it's just the speed and the ease of use we're using these. So you can literally just make your workflow a lot better. Okay guys, that is it. This is my review and my pros and cons video of the Sony A7 III. Hopefully it has helped. If you're looking to buy this camera, then everything I've said today hopefully has helped you towards your decision whether to buy it or not to buy it. I'd like to know your opinion below in the comments. If you're thinking of getting it and I've helped you get it, let me know. If I've kind of like torn you away from buying it and looking for something different, let me know what you're going to go for instead. If you already have it, leave your pros and your cons below in the comments for everyone else to read and also for me to see. And yeah, and if you're just watching this video and you enjoyed it, also leave me a comment as well. I would appreciate if you liked the video. It does help a lot. And also, if you're new to my channel, subscribe and turn on the bell notifications. And if you're not new and you're existing subscriber, make sure your bell notifications are turned on as well. So when my videos go live, you'll be notified straight away. Until next time, I'm Barry Toller. Peace.